Hi class, this is Neil, and this is the third video in lesson 3. This is a video that will mainly be a drill to prepare us for this portion of the lesson. So we won't be taking any notes on the handout you have. So before we kind of get into that, we want to spend some time interpreting coordinates and what they mean when we see them in a circle. All right, so in this first problem, we're given that the radius of this particular circle is 6. So no matter where I draw that radius on my circle, it's always equal to 6. Now, if I were to ask you what is the coordinate of the circle at the point that is shown here, well, that point would be 0, 6, because we're 6 units above the x-axis and we're on the y-axis. So that's the point 0, 6. If we were to shift that radius, and I ask you what is the value of that point, now that we see it, the point on the right there, well, that is the point, yeah, you guessed it, 6, 0, because we're 6 units away from the center of the circle. As I rotate around the circle again, where would that point be located? Well, you're right if you said 0, -6, because that point is 6 units below the x-axis, and it's on the y-axis, so 0, -6. Likewise, this is the point -4, 6. Now, this is a different circle. If I'm just given that point, -4, 6, the base of that circle is -4, and the height would be 6. And that's given to me by the coordinates themselves. The x value representing that horizontal base, and the y value representing that vertical distance. Okay, likewise, now we have a point 20, 50. This is a new circle. The height there of that triangle would be 50. The base would be, you guessed it, 20. Okay, here we have another reference triangle with a base of -18 and a height really of -27. So what would our values for our coordinate be? Well, you're right if you said -18, -27. What would the value of that point be? The point right by that right angle. Yeah, that is -18, 0. All right, let's try another one. Okay, this is a triangle with a base of 40 and a height on the coordinate plane of -14.5. So what's the value of that point on the circle? Yeah, 40, -14.5. What's the value of that point? 40, 0. Excuse me. Okay, so here we have a triangle, a new triangle, height of 7, and we're told that the x value is -12. Well, that means that point C is at -12, 7. Excuse me. And that point P is at -12, 0. All right, so next, we're told that the radius of this circle is 15. That means that that segment, that line segment that's drawn there, has a distance of 15 units. And no matter where that radius is drawn on the circle, it's always 15 units away from the center. So when it's on the y-axis, on the positive side of the y-axis, it's 0, 15. the positive side of the x-axis would be, 15, 0. The negative side of the y-axis would be 0, negative 15. And the negative side of the x-axis, again, would be negative 15, 0. All right, let's look at another triangle. So this triangle has a base of negative 3.5. Its height is the same as the y-coordinate, is negative 6.5. The x value of that point on the circle would be negative 3.5. All right, this triangle here. So we're given a point, 3, 4. We're given the height, and we're also given the radius. What is the radius of that triangle? Yeah, it's 5 units. So first, if I were to ask what is the base of that triangle, what's the length of the base, we look at our x value, and it's 3. The length of the radius, no matter where that radius is drawn on the circle, is 5. That point by the right angle is the point 3, 0. All right, last one. Okay, so we've got that point C on the edge of the circle. That's 0, 25. The base of our triangle there is 7. We're given a point, 7, negative 24. So the height of my triangle there, what is it? Yep, negative 24. The radius, what's the length of the radius? Remember, the radius is the same no matter where it's drawn. And it is 25. All right, I'll see you in the next video.